my vision is like all the way from the first principle, right? I've been in the space almost 10 years now. I've done a lot of things, made some mistakes. I'm being scammed by some people as well. I built some stuff and made some contribution to the space early for Polkadot and then for Polygon, and also investing as an investor, investing in FTLA as a product investor and advisor, and a lot of other projects as well. So back to the principle, right? We as an industry for blockchain has been in the space for a while. It's still a young industry, but we have 15 years already. That's a lot of things happen. So moving forward, if you ask me, what kind of company can survive in 10 years later? I have only two answers. One is a very exciting company called Coinbase, which is very regulated, very professional.
I participated in their stock offering, their IPO.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it must be doing well, right? And then,
it had its ups and downs, but I think it's on the way up. I never sold.
oh, great. That's good to know. Yeah, I think, if it's like centralized as an equity company, they are the only one I believe will definitely survive 10 years later. And the other one is Bitcoin. With all due respect for all the other things with Ethereum, I was an ETH builder. I know a lot of proof of stake chain like Solana and so on. A lot of new ones like Barrett chain, kind of doing interesting stuff, right? But if I only can pick one, 100% going to survive 10 years later, that's Bitcoin. So, our slogan in Bitlayer is making history with Bitcoin or for Bitcoin, right? Because that's the only thing I feel like it makes so much sense, and it makes me feel so inspired that there's no other thing which is more important besides making money along the way. Making money is a byproduct, but creating history for the industry, like there's nothing more important than doing that for Bitcoin ecosystem. For the industry, like there's nothing more important than doing that for Bitcoin ecosystem. Yeah, you have been doing a lot of video content for many years, right? So from previous cycle till now, you probably see a lot of interesting narrative. How do you see this Bitcoin narrative now? You're being pretty active in investing in us and a few other projects as well.
Yes, a lot of people, still not sure if this is long-lasting or not, but I see very, very strong interest, and then the Western investors now following.
Yep.
So I think not just interest, but actually money is really flowing into the Bitcoin layer 2 or its ecosystem.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of attention. A lot of builders, are talking with us, trying to deploy our chain. We launched our mainnet last week. We're getting a lot of good KOLs and influencers and talking with us as well, trying to get into the the whitelist of the OG pass, which are dropping right now, and also a lot of other upcoming good news. Well, is there any comments about the things you see in the Bitcoin space that you feel can be improved, like from your perspective?
Yeah, I think today it's actually the Merlin just launched a token.
Yep.
But I think what we are expecting is a lot bigger than just the initial launch of the Bitcoin layer 2 or side chains. We haven't really seen much going on yet, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, a lot of Bitcoiners interested in using, their tokens for DeFi and some other stuff because they haven't really no choice doing anything else.
There's not much adoption in Bitcoin, right? Besides kind of mining and sitting there in a cold wallet, right? That's kind of the goal and a tech vision for Bitlayer to unlock the TVL liquidity from all the existing Bitcoin holders and for yield-bearing assets, right? And also bring the DeFi adoption to Bitcoin. As we see, we saw a lot of movements with Dubai, all the builders coming here,
I'm just curious, how do you expect this week in the Token 2049?
It's already blowing my mind. I think even before the main event started, even with all the floods, the turn up is amazing. The energy is amazing. Everybody's positive, and everybody's looking forward to what crypto can bring, not only to the region but worldwide. I think
Exactly.
Layer 2s on blockchain, all this
For sure.
excitement about Bitcoin is blowing my mind.
It's a great timing, right? We're literally witnessing a history, right? Another halving cycle. How do you think about post-halving and post-ETF on Bitcoin? Like, what's the legal framework would look like?
So, I mean, the ETF framework is pretty much set for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's going to move all that much. It's nice that it's established.
Right.
Somebody was asking me about the ETH ETF.
Yeah, which is upcoming potentially.
I think we're at least 18 months away.
Okay.
The U.S. election, I think, is going to get in the way of everything. And then there's much confusion now over validating nodes and exactly what that means.
Yeah, with us focused on Bitcoin ecosystem, I guess it's much more clarity, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, from the ordinals perspective, as long as you've got the indexing, that kind of makes it work, so you can stitch the things together, so you can get more in.
We were quite early on ordinals last year. We in the deep dive ordinals community. We built the ordinals community in kind of Asia. We are sponsor of Ordinals Asia Summit next month. We are compatible as a layer 2. We compatible all the ordinals assets on layer 1. How do you see Bitcoin ecosystem play a role for this interesting new DeFi primitive compared to Ethereum?
To me, to be honest with you, I think it has the opportunity to build deeper liquidity pools in the Ethereum ecosystem.
Yep.
And I'm actually surprised looking back that Bitlayer wasn't born like 5 years ago.
Well,
and
the technology was not 100% ready,
right? But I think it's time, and I think it's the evolution, and it wasn't because we've gotten so much smarter and better at building deeper liquidity pools, and building kind of broader active communities. So I'm super excited about the next 6 months, Bitlayer's launch.
Yeah.
What's gonna,
exactly
how you're building the ecosystem next 2 years, man, 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, just to be part of it and collaborate across the portfolio of companies that you guys are building is pretty phenomenal.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we are launching our mainnet just last week, being so far a lot of attention from the developers. Glad to have a good project like Credible and a few other DeFi primitives already in the pipeline deploying. Community has been growing very fast, almost like 20% a day. People are interested in the new assets, new primitive, new applications you can use for trading, for lending, for all kinds of things. Today is literally right. I think 12 hours later we have the halving, right? So it's a very interesting, exciting moment. We have the Room protocol on Bitcoin layer 1 coming up on other ways, new asset protocol, new asset classes. It's going to be a lot of new users talking about Bitcoin, talking about the new asset class, bridge to Bitcoin layer 2. Use our Bitcoin, trust minimized bridge, use all kinds of interesting dApps like Credible and so on our ecosystem, and potentially get a good yield, and transaction proof will be verified on Bitcoin layer 1 with our BitVM. So that's pretty exciting. We're getting some really interesting investors on board this week. I would love to share the news later on soon. And, I think the ecosystem program, Ready Player One, you guys already applied, right?
Yep.
This is something very exciting to provide, additional yield and liquidity and incentive for the community members, for the users. So absolutely stay tuned.